Hey guys, it's Dr. J. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here to do a timeless reading today for the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. This is going to be a timeless reading, so it doesn't matter what time, what year, month, day you watch this, it will still apply to you. And also I want to point out that even if you're not a water sun sign, if you are a water moon sign or rising sign, this is also going to apply to you. So I'd like to call in Archangel Michael for protection over this reading, and I'd like to call in Archangel Metatron to help guide me and give precise, clear answers for you guys, and also call in my guides and all the guides of those who will be tuning in and listening to help assist us. So let's get started. Today I'm using the Black Moon Astrology deck. I'm using the Food Fortunes deck, the Psychic Tarot Angels in Abundance Oracle deck, and this is a special deck that my friend Heather Woods made, and she decided to give it to me, which I really appreciate and love. And she used a lot of messages from I think movies and songs, so that's going to be like our overarching message for the day using that deck. But yeah, so let's pull an astrology card. I like to start with the astrology card since I'm an astrologer. Let's see what should the water signs focus on, or what messages do they need to hear at this time? This present moment. Oh, okay. Interesting. Got the Grand Trine card. Feeling like I need one more card, so I'm going to pull another one. I'll explain what a Grand Trine is too in a minute in astrology. One more card, please, Spirit. One more card. What's the theme of the message for this reading for the water signs? This Grand Trine card needs a friend. Please, one card. Come on, make it pop for me, please. Oh, okay, we're gonna go with this one. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to explain what a grand trine is, but first I have to explain what a trine is. So there's something called aspects in astrology, if you don't know anything about astrology, and it's basically like the relationship between the planets in the sky when you were born, how the energies are interacting. It's kind of like, you can think of the planets almost like people within you, and it's kind of like their relationship. It's those parts of yourself and the relationship between them. So a trine is a nice beneficial aspect. It's like the planets are working together. They flow very well. It's like a Jupiterian energy, a very Piscean energy, you could even say. And yeah, so when there's a grand trine, that means there's three planets that are trining each other that form this triangle, 120 degrees. So let's say it's like the Sun, Moon, and Saturn. They're all trining one another and forming this big triangle. And then we got the 12 house card. So I'm getting that because a grand trine usually represents blessings from past lives that you've earned. Okay. Yeah, and I'm feeling, since you guys are water signs, I'm feeling like it's a water grand trine for most of you. Maybe not all of you, but it's definitely from past life because 12th house represents past lives. So it's maybe like gifts that you aren't even aware of yet, or maybe you are, but you're too afraid to pursue them and like embrace them. So they're telling you guys to embrace them, to go out of your comfort zone. And if it's a lot of times water grand trine, it has to do with psychic abilities, and you guys are probably already psychic anyways, being a water sign, even if you aren't aware of it. Subconsciously, you are. Yeah, and like the phases of the moon, I'm kind of just feeling like you're kind of, this is a process, so it doesn't have to happen overnight. You know, embracing these abilities, but just take that first step and kind of out into the unknown. And I know it can be tough because for me, it took a while for me to embrace my abilities because I feel like I've been persecuted a lot in past lives. So I totally get it if there's a lot of fear around it. I totally get it. But you can do it. You can do it. If I can do it, I used to be, when I was younger, in my childhood, I used to be quite meek and fearful and scared of the unknown and not wanting to, like, you know, break out of my comfort zone. You can do it. I have full faith in you, and I encourage you to do that and step out and just go for it. All right, so let's see if we can get any more context on how you're supposed to go about doing that. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel. So I'm going to pull a card from the Psychic Tarot and see what actions, give us more context on the actions you can take, and how about going and embracing your abilities. Ooh, okay, that one kind of pops, so we're going to go with it. Disruption. I think this is like the tower energy in traditional tarot. Like, I don't really know tarot, but I think this might be the tower energy. But it's just a side note for those of you that know tarot. Yeah, I just kind of feel like a lot of you guys are in resistance. Like, you look at him crossing his arms like that, he's like kind of resisting the change. This is kind of like Scorpio energy, and yeah, and it's like it's inevitable. You know, the universe it's gives us nudges, and it gives us messages, but then eventually, if it's what's meant for us, if it's our destiny, it's gonna like not give you an option. So I'm not saying that to like make you guys fearful of anything, but it's kind of like, more or less, it'd be better if you take the action now and not stop resisting than to make the universe force you, because it can be a lot more painful. Because we're talking like plutonic energy, you know, death, rebirth, and I'm not saying like somebody's gonna die necessarily, but sometimes the universe forces things to die in our lives, metaphorically speaking, whether it's a job or relationship or that sort of thing. So maybe for some of you, yeah, I'm hearing like somebody's holding you back in a relationship, and that needs to die. That's the action that needs to be taken for some of you. Maybe not all of you. Maybe that person's super, yeah, maybe even narcissistic. But even at the very least, maybe you're maybe they're not narcissistic, but maybe they're influencing you too much, because the water signs can end up, a lot of times they can end up sacrificing too much of themselves and another person. It doesn't have to be romantic, but a lot of times it is romantic. So maybe this person is holding you back. That's kind of what I'm getting. Or talking you out of embracing your abilities, you know, that sort of thing. So it's time to let that, whatever it is, if it's a person or a situation or an environment, some kind of environment, maybe it's a parent, which I know you can't totally always disconnect from a parent, but maybe just even just let go of the negative things that they're saying and trust your own intuition and your gut. So I feel like that's good for that card. So This is just for funsies, the food cards, the food fortunes. Let's see what comes out, because I know Cancer kind of has a reputation for liking food and good food. But I'd say that goes for all the water signs, really. And I did this for the earth signs too, since earth signs kind of represent nurturing and, material realm, but I feel like it's good for the water signs too. So let's see what comes out. All right. Sorry if the camera's moving. I'm trying to keep it as still as possible, but it's not the best ring light, so hopefully one day I can get a better ring light. So please bear with me. Okay, one card, please. One card, please. The energy was really crazy with the earth sign reading I just did a few minutes ago. It doesn't feel quite as crazy for you guys, but that's okay. We're just supposed to chill out, maybe with this reading. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna go with that one. We got the thickest. It's like a milkshake. Interesting. I'm just going to feel into this card a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of getting like you've learned to develop thick skin because of your past and maybe even past lives. Yeah, and it's kind of like the glass of for the milkshake, the actual container is like representative of like that armor that you've built for yourself. And yeah, I'm hearing like sometimes you have to de-armor and you have to open up to have really, really amazing experiences. There's always some risk involved, and I think they're saying to not be so guarded. I mean, that's what I'm getting, which is kind of interesting. Because you are like, the water signs are super sweet, and, like dessert inside that glass, underneath all that armor, like you guys are super sweet and caring. And maybe people don't always realize that about you because you are so guarded. And I'm kind of hearing like maybe you're missing some opportunities for like in your relationships. I'm feeling, yeah. And that I feel like that's kind of tied in with the people that maybe have this person that's holding them back. There's somebody better out there for you, I'm getting, that respects your abilities and even loves your abilities, like encourages you to embrace them. And maybe that guardedness also, yeah, for those people that are in kind of that abusive relationship, maybe it's like you've had to have this armor, and if you let go of this relationship, you won't have to have such strong guardedness and armor, and you can have like a more loving relationship. That's kind of what I'm getting. Yeah, I think that's where it's coming in and tying in. So all right. All right, so I'm going to get an overarching message for the reading for the water signs. for my friend's deck that she made for me. Please, overarching message for the reading. What do the water signs need to hear? That's too many. Okay, let's try this again. That's probably more my fault. That wasn't Spirit's fault. Just to clarify. Also, want to let everybody know, like, if you are a Scorpio or a Sag, I use the 13th sign of Fucus, okay? So not every astrologer uses that, and I actually have my own, like, system of what I consider, at least for the sun signs. No, I mean, really for, it doesn't matter what placement of Fucus, because basically I use the last 10 degrees of Scorpio and the first 10 degrees of Sagittarius for a Fucus. Alright, so that gives Scorpio, a Fucus, and Sag an equal 20 degrees each. So if this reading is not resonating for you, and you are traditionally a Sag or Scorpio, like in Western astrology, or even if you are in Vedic, but I don't really, I don't use Vedic. I'm a Western astrologer, but anyways, you might actually be in a Fucus, and I'm gonna do a reading for the ether element, which is a Fucus, and a Fucus is the only ether sign, and it basically represents source energy, 0-point energy. You could say heaven, the source of all that is. It's opposite Taurus and Gemini, so it's a very ethereal energy, and very magical, and it kind of embodies all the signs. It's basically, if any planet goes into a Fucus or in the 13th house, if you know a little bit about astrology, it's basically like a portal. It's like a portal, and it's like a portal back to source. It's like everybody's connected to source, and it's not that a Fucus is better than the other signs, but it's kind of like they have an easier access to that 0-point energy. It's very shamanistic, it's very magical, it's very ethereal, I should say. It's kind of snake-like. You think Slytherin from Harry Potter. It's very Black Moon Lilith energy, because she rules it, so that's represents a lot of things that are like shamed and considered too dark, and it's very powerful energy. But I'm going to probably do a video or a series even talking about it a little bit more, but I just wanted to point that out in case this isn't resonating for those people. Go check out the Fucus reading. Alright, okay. I think I'm going to spread them out. We're just going to like do a random card. And I'll just see what feels, what's calling to me. Okay, we're going to go with this one. Maybe, just maybe, your someday is almost here, from far away, or by far away. I'm not sure what that's from. It might be a song, might be a movie line, but maybe you know. Pun intended. But what am I getting from this? This is kind of dreamy energy. This is kind of like Pisces energy. So it's kind of like maybe you guys have this dream of, yeah, like maybe you guys have this dream of your partner and you working together with like a business or something, or you using your abilities, your psychic abilities in the business, and you just, maybe you don't have that right now with that person, or at the very least they're just kind of, they're not very encouraging, you know. So it's totally okay to dream for and want something better, you know, like maybe you're scared to leave the relationship, maybe you're afraid of hurting them, but you have to do what's best for you at the end of the day. I mean, yeah, you don't have to go out of your way to just, you know, talking to you Scorpios, have revenge, and, you know, you don't have to go out of your way to be horrible to them. But um, you can still end the relationship in love and walk away with it, walk away from it in love, you know, which I get, like, it's not always easy, and I get, like, it can be very complicated, but it's totally okay to dream of a better relationship and want something better for yourself. So I feel like that's what's I'm getting. And by even just dreaming, you're putting it, if you ever listen to Abraham Hicks, it's going into your vortex. So it's like already there. And yeah, that's really beautiful. And you can totally manifest. But you got to take the steps to bring it to you, which, you know, obviously might mean breaking up with this person. And again, embracing your abilities, you know, because when you embrace your abilities and you trust your intuition, the universe is going to bring that person to you. And when you trust yourself, then you trust that the person that the universe has brought to you is the right one, you know? So that's really cool. So let's get one final message from the angels to close out the reading. What guidance and advice do the angels have for you guys, the water signs? Yeah, we're going to go with that one. Declutter. You'll feel better and more focused if you'll take the time to clear away clutter from your living and workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need your items. Be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. So this is kind of like Virgo energy, but I'm actually kind of feeling that it's more about decluttering your mind space, because like more on the Pisces end, because there is that connection between Virgo and Pisces, that axis. So there's that 12th house. So maybe you have some like negative thinking patterns from past lives, or even just in this life. And that can get in the way of your dreams, you know, like, and having a more positive outlook on the future. So it's like declutter negative thinking patterns and negative things that you might think about yourself, and have confidence in yourself and love yourself more, yeah. And then it's like you'll basically have kind of more or less the whole universe. That's what I'm getting. It's like you'll have it all if you can just love yourself more, and unconditionally love yourself more. And when you do that, because we're always taught to love others first and not ourselves, it's like, no, it's actually the other way around. We have to love ourselves first, because we're always attracting what we're putting out. That's what is within us. That is what is within us. We are attracting. So when you love yourself, and I don't mean like, you know, be egotistic and selfish. Obviously, there's like a balance, but when you love yourself and you respect yourself and you have boundaries, you have strong boundaries and self-esteem, then you're going to attract somebody who mirrors that. So the angels are behind you and helping to love yourself. And even if you don't feel it all the time, like if you don't feel it in the moment, then call on them and they'll be able to help you, and um, you'll be able to feel the love from them, I feel like, which will in turn help you to love yourself more. So I hope that helps, and hope this resonated for you guys. And again, if this isn't resonating, I encourage you to check out my Fucus reading that I will be doing very soon. All right, so I will talk to you guys later. See you next time. Bye.